there Cosmic Warriors, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video we are going to be taking a look at the power, control and rebirth of those of you who have Pluto within your third house, but also for those of you who have the sign of Scorpio ruling your third house within your natal birth chart. I just want to quickly mention here that I happen to have both of these placements. I have Pluto in the sign of Scorpio in my third house. Yay me. It is a blessing and a curse, I think, when it comes to these placements from my own personal experience. But still, before we do get started, make sure that you give this video a like if you like it. Also make sure to subscribe if you have not already, and to click that little bell icon in order to keep yourself updated with further content from myself. And one more just quick thing to mention, if you would like to know more information all about your Pluto sign, your Pluto house, along with your Scorpio house and your 8th house within your birth chart, then I have created a Scorpio season/archetype ebook. So what I am going to do is I'm going to provide a link to that ebook in the description box below so that you can pick up your copy today if you would like. Alright, so with all those introductions out of the way, Pluto in the third house and Scorpio ruling the third house individuals, let's do this. So if you have Pluto in your third house or Scorpio ruling your third house, then what this suggests is that you are someone who has a very concentrated, focused and intentional communication style, whereby which you're able to preserve your energy when having a conversation with somebody else, for example, or where you can really hone in on a person, or you can hone in on a piece of literature that you're learning, or you can even hone in on an email that you're answering as other examples. Essentially, you focus intensely and passionately whilst engaging in a conversation, as well as when you're learning. And when you go to share a thought or an opinion or an idea, you do so with a mighty force. You do it with power, you do it with deliberation. And the more intimate and close, the better. Because that way, whenever you are having a one-on-one conversation or discussion or debate that is more on the intimate side, you're able to use your mental energy and sort of penetrate the mind and language of whoever is on the receiving end. You sort of seek to stimulate the mind, or even penetrate and pierce through the mind of the other person by sinking much deeper into the subject at hand. Similarly, when you're left to your own devices, so this can be you within your own private domain, for example, where you can then study a new subject or even just study for your exams here. What you're able to do whenever you're in that intimate space, you're able to really, again, focus, and you can investigate the hell out of whatever that subject is that you're learning, because you pierce your thought capacity into the information in order to really let it sink in more deeply. Now, this process isn't as straightforward as I'm making it sound. No, this process can actually be extremely mentally exhausting. For example, you might not be aware of your limits mentally, resulting in you mentally burning out, or you might even become infuriated with yourself if you find it difficult to grasp a harder to understand document or subject. Then again, you might also mentally exhaust others due to your refusal to stop probing others for the truth or for more information. And don't even get me started on how paranoid you can become, where you start questioning other people's intentions and other people's psychology, where you might say something along the lines of, well, what did you mean by that? Or, how come you lifted your head right there at that very second? Or, that's not what you told me last week. Last week you said 13 pounds, not 14 pounds. Basically, you take the words that other people say very seriously, and you almost vigorously hold them to their word. And if anything is out of place, or if anything feels off according to your internal radar, you're willing to ask the questions and get the answers that you need if necessary. Therefore, you don't really take conversation lightly, and you're not really one for engaging in superficial, small talk, fluff. Though I wonder, Pluto in the third house, Scorpio ruling the third house individuals, where might these feelings be stemming from? So what we'll do now is we will take you right back to your childhood, specifically your early schooling days and your early neighborhood days. So is it possible here that you grew up in a neighborhood that was somewhat mysterious? A neighborhood where so much went on behind closed doors. This could have been neighbors abusing each other or engaging in acts of violence or criminal activity. Or maybe you and your family would take short distance trips to a holiday home by the beach or somewhere outside of the city. But it was that particular area that was intrusive and made you feel scared, or possibly it even terrorized you and it felt kind of unsafe. Perhaps your neighbors at this holiday home, they emotionally manipulated you or brought tension and turbulence towards you and your family, such as your sister being sexually attacked, or this could have been where you were blackmailed, your family was maybe blackmailed, or possibly even this could have been a situation where lies was spread by your neighbors about you. Though of course these are just some examples, okay? But another possibility could be that these unsettling and turbulent events happen between you and your siblings. So in this respect, if you grew up with any siblings, maybe there were power struggles that played out between you and them. Though if you didn't grow up with any siblings, this could have been power struggles between you and any potential cousins that you had. Maybe there was even a lot of fighting or manipulative tactics being used between these individuals. Perhaps you were even quite jealous or resentful towards one of your siblings or cousins, or maybe you would sometimes find yourself having dark or twisted thoughts of something shocking or revealing happening to one of your siblings or cousins. And if this was the case, maybe you became quite a weary, skeptical person. Then again, perhaps these things also filtered into your early school life, further resulting in you finding it difficult to connect with other people. On the other hand though, perhaps it was the invasive and terrorizing feelings located more within your neighborhood that you experienced as a child that you actually brought forward into your early schooling days. Though whichever way it played out, or wherever it sort of stemmed from initially, this could have resulted in you keeping other kids at a distance because you didn't really trust them very much. Now this may have further led to you struggling to even make friends, or it could have been you finding it really difficult to include yourself when learning with the rest of the class as a team. Though on the other hand, just maybe your early schooling environment as a whole was where you felt these scary emotions. Maybe you were terrorized or traumatized by other pupils or by other teachers. Maybe you were singled out, or maybe you were bullied by others who saw you as vulnerable, sort of target. Maybe they saw you as weak, or maybe they even saw you as a threat. And so in this respect, perhaps you grew up very suspicious of other students, especially if they betrayed your trust in any way. Maybe they even lied to you and you knew that they were lying, or maybe you even lied to them. Though on that note, perhaps you felt like you had no other choice in the matter than to lie, as a way to keep yourself safe, as a way to keep yourself protected. Then again, maybe you were just a really quiet child, a quiet student in your early schooling years. You didn't really welcome other students into your psychological world because it was too risky, it was too dangerous in your eyes. And besides, even when you did try to open up or share, with communication, etc., you later discovered the very impact that words can have on other people, especially words that are mean and cruel and really hurtful and quite vicious. Though, whatever the case might be here, Pluto in the third house, Scorpio ruling the third house, you learn pretty early on in your life how powerful and profound words and language can be, for better or for worse. Maybe another possibility could be that you were forced to keep a very tight lid on your words and your opinions as well, suggesting that you were psychologically controlled. So, is it that you were forced to keep secrets? The type of secrets that you then repressed and stuffed down? Maybe you were told that if you were to tell anyone, you would get into trouble, or maybe you were manipulated into thinking that something was your fault when it wasn't. Perhaps you witnessed one of your relatives or your siblings performing shady acts that maybe involve the likes of theft or sexually explicit content, or maybe someone you loved was even in a car accident. Could even be suggested here that you have a fear of driving due to a past traumatic experience associated with it. But again, whatever way this played out, if we were to bring this back to how you communicate, is it that communication itself, it cuts very, very deep for you due to how emotionally charged up you can become whenever you are communicating, and also due to that emotional charge you get from your brain, from how you think. Maybe certain things people say, for example, they give you these intense flashbacks to back to your earlier years, or maybe as you listen to someone else, you try to really locate the emotional intent behind what they're saying as a way to protect and defend yourself. And following on from this point, I think that you're pretty good at detecting resistance or phoniness from other people, and you can sort of sense whether or not someone is being genuine with you when you're having a conversation. However, what I will say is that you can often ruminate or find yourself sinking into a dark place in here. This could be you dwelling on a past memory that brings you bitterness and resentment, for example. Or this could even be you toying with destructive thoughts, so looking at self-sabotage, possibly even thoughts that can horrify others if you were to share them outwardly. You may quite literally think about how you would kill someone that you hate, or think about how you would seek revenge on them. Or you may think about sexual desires, so these sexual desires that you have that may be considered as kind of freaky to other people if they were to hear them. Though still, it's the obsessive thinking that can pull you under. Pluto in the third house, Scorpio ruling the third house, suggesting that you may really struggle letting go of certain thoughts. Now, don't get me wrong, this can also be used to your benefit. It can be a very powerful thing because it suggests that you're very good at setting your mind on achieving things that you mentally intend on completing. But on the opposite side of this, you may drive yourself up the wall by feeding into certain thoughts that you think are true. But in actuality, you are obsessing about the same thing over and over again that just, it doesn't lead you anywhere. So in this respect, it might be a good idea to figure out a strategy to really help you with this. So what I will say is that even though there can be times whenever it feels like you're at your wit's end, well, there's also the rebirth. There is the transformation, the rising up here. So let's take an example where we'll look at a certain thought pattern that you might experience. You are deep in that thought about something that is actually causing you a lot of sadness and a lot of pain, and it's all internal, right? But then what happens is you get it out of you. You release it. So this could be you sharing with a friend or talking to somebody else about that thought. So just getting it out of you, out of your mind and out in the open that way. Could also, of course, be you talking with a professional about it, or this could be you even talking to yourself out loud in front of the mirror, like me. And I also do like to speak with my friends and my partner and with professionals about what I'm thinking as well. Though ultimately, by you releasing these thoughts that are causing you distress and inner turmoil, by you bringing them up to the surface, you are reborn. And you can feel a sense of renewal. So having said that, this could even be where you focus your mental energy on writing, researching, or journaling as other ways to help with the release. On the other hand, this death and rebirth process can also play out through how you study, how you research, and how you communicate. So take the study of astrology itself, for example. It's safe to say it's a very complex subject. Same goes for the study of psychology or politics, which, by the way, you may also be interested in these subjects as well. But still, it's you, Pluto, in the third house, who can take a complex subject such as these, and then what you do is you dissect the hell out of it, or them. And what you do then is you break the subject down, then you build it back up again, you break it down again, and you build it back up again. Kind of like alchemy, where you transmutate whatever the topic or subject is. And with each and every ending and new beginning, you keep adding to what you have learned along the way. But also you can then do away with information that no longer serves you or just no longer resonates with you anymore. And what starts to happen is you become much more powerful, and then as you go to share or deliver your newfound insights and revelations with others, you can ignite something pretty powerful within them as well, further enhancing your focus and your control, where you can become this unstoppable and immovable force when it comes to whatever subject that you sink your teeth into. And like I mentioned, the same can be said when it comes to your communication style. I mean, sure, yeah, maybe growing up, you didn't feel heard or understood. Maybe it felt as if your thoughts were not your own and others were trying to dominate and control them. But as you evolve and as you transform, you rise up and you become reborn through the art of communication, due to how intimate and up close and personal you become with your mind. And also due to how you learn about the sheer power of your mind along with the impact of your words. Ultimately, Pluto in the third house, Scorpio ruling the third house individuals, by using your investigative and deep mindset as a tool to dominate your communication skills along with your thoughts and your studies and so on, you reclaim your personal power. Though, in the process, please, please, please try not to dominate others where you think that you're always right and that you're never wrong. Besides, being wrong can be used as a great learning tool, so keep that in mind. Okay then, Cosmic Warriors, so that concludes my video on the power, control and rebirth of those of you who have Pluto in your third house, but also for those of you who have Scorpio ruling your third house within your natal birth chart. Now, if you happen to have any of these placements, let us know what you thought of the video in the comment section down below. But with all that being said, thank you so much for watching, thank you for subscribing, and of course if you would like to see more videos from myself and you have not yet subscribed, then go right ahead and click that subscribe button. Make sure you give this video a like as well, remember. And I will be back with another video very, very soon. Bye!